Are you falling into one of these 6 language learning traps? If so, what can you do about it? So I'm going to share with you what they are, but more importantly, I'm going to share with you how you can avoid them, or if you've already fell into that trap, how can you get out and actually create a plan and take action that's actually going to help you to improve, and you will start learning faster. So the first one is very, very important. It's one of the first traps, an over-reliance on passive learning. So why do so many people focus on passive learning when actually what you should be doing instead is active learning, of course. So we learn passively, so that just means writing down grammar, focusing on developing your vocabulary just by using flashcards or using apps. App. The more apps that you probably use, especially when you're not using your mouth, that's not a good sign. If you are using apps for flashcards, if you are using apps, just apps, is good for exam practice, right? It's good for developing your vocabulary and remembering things, but it's not good as active practice, right? Just think about why so many people after 10 years of studying in school cannot speak, right? It's because they just have passive knowledge. So yeah, it's something that we default to because when we've been learning a language in school, that's all we know. All we know is flashcards, studying grammar, just trying to build vocabulary by doing some exercises. No. This is not how we develop our language skills to a high level, to an active level, to a level that you can just relax and start having a conversation with someone, which is ultimately the goal, right? This is the goal: conversation with people, getting a job, being able to actually use this language in real life, okay? This is the goal. So we're going to be talking about how we can achieve that. If you don't want to achieve that goal and you're just doing it for a hobby, it's just something that you don't really care about being able to speak, then sure, apps, Duolingo, flashcards, grammar, focus on all that stuff, sure. But if your goal, like most people, is to be able to actually communicate in this language, then you must avoid an over-reliance on passive learning. So what you should be doing instead is you should be focusing on your listening and your speaking skills. And you shouldn't be focusing as much on your reading and your writing skills, okay? So if you just focus on reading and writing, guess what? You get really good at reading and writing. If you just focus on speaking and listening, guess what? You get really good at speaking and listening, which are the 2 most important things for communication, right? So unfortunately, yeah, these pathways in the brain are not connected. They are loosely, but there's not that direct overlap. So if you just read, you never actually speak in this language, you're never going to be able to speak. It's just, yeah, you are not training the neural pathways that actually connect to the mouth, that create sound, that actually allow you to communicate in the language, okay? So the first thing that we want to do is, stop this over-reliance on passive learning, and we want to start shifting it to as much active learning as possible. The more active learning, the better. Speak more, listen more, actively listen more, do more mimicking, do more shadowing, speak to more teachers, speak to more people, get into more situations where you're actually using this language. Do more active practice, speak with yourself. These are all of the active methods that you should be focusing on and that you should be using, okay? Number 2, this is a really common mistake that a lot of students make, which is not tracking your study hours. What you should be doing is you should be writing down how many hours you study per week. The reason for this is really important because if you don't know how many hours you study per week, you actually cannot predict or determine how fast you're going to reach a C1 level, right? So a lot of people kind of think like they don't really know how long it takes to reach a C1 level in a language. Well, actually, we do know. Yeah, it's been, there's a framework. I think it's called the CEFR, and they have laid out a framework that shows you how long it takes to learn each language, and based on which country you're from, right? Because if you are learning English and you're from a European country, it's going to be faster for you than if someone is from Asia and their first language is, say, Mandarin. It's going to take typically twice as long, to actually reach a good level in that language, because you don't have a base, you don't have a foundation. Whereas if you know a Latin language, you already have a base, you already have a foundation, because there's lots of words in English that's based on Latin, okay? And then more so if you have a German background, because the German language, English is a German connected into this language family, okay? And yeah, it's quite interesting, yeah, how that works. But it gives you a boost, yeah, once you're starting that language, and allows you to start developing vocabulary quicker. You will identify logic and grammar structures much faster. So when you're writing down the study hours, you need to think about low intensity, medium intensity, and high intensity, okay? These are the 3 levels that you need to know about that's gonna determine how fast you're actually gonna learn this language. Low intensity is 1 to 3 hours per week. Medium intensity is 3 to 6 hours per week. High intensity is 7+ hours per week, okay? If you are learning in the high intensity range, you're gonna learn 3 times faster than if you are learning in the low intensity range. If you're learning in the medium intensity range, you're gonna learn a little faster than the low intensity. If you are learning in the low intensity range, you're gonna learn the slowest, okay? So I would really actually recommend for each individual, especially if you're working over 40 hours per week, at least 30 minutes a day. It has to be at least 30 minutes a day. And if you can, I would really try to aim for 1 hour per day, just because you're gonna learn this language so much faster. Yeah, so if you wanna learn slow and you have the time, sure, do low intensity. But if you're in a rush, you need to learn this language quick, you need to get a job now, you need to communicate in this language, then you should be learning faster, okay? For me personally, I like to study in the higher intensity range because I find it more motivating, I find it more interesting, because I see my progress faster and I know that I'm going to reach my goal quicker. Okay. The third and often neglected and ignored trap that people fall into when they're learning English is the wrong difficulty exposure. So a lot of people focus on a difficulty level that's too high or too low, and they kind of don't find that sweet spot. And the sweet spot is really important to find because it's just going to increase your enjoyment. It's going to increase your learning speed because you're actually listening to content that is understandable but just pushes you a little bit. You should have a language plan and a vocabulary plan that pushes you to really develop the your not just your grammatical range, but your vocabulary range. It should be based on your reality. It should be based on things that interest you, okay? So you need to figure out which podcasts, which videos are interesting for you that are not too difficult, but difficult enough to push the envelope, right? You should also focus on speaking with a teacher, and this teacher should also be pushing you, encouraging you to get to that next level by creating content and guiding you and organizing information for you, so that you can start getting exposure to the more difficult, language patterns and language structures, but in a way that doesn't pressure you too much, okay? And if it's too easy, you're not going to be progressing, okay? So the fourth one that a lot of people avoid, and I really, really recommend that you don't do this, is you mimic, also known as shadow, too late. Yeah, you do it maybe after like 5 years or 6 years, but no, you should be shadowing from day one. I started shadowing in Spanish from day one, and it really helped. It really, really improved because you need to develop the muscles in your mouth. You need to connect with this language. You need to figure out tongue placement, you need to activate muscles. In some languages it's more in the throat, so you need to start mimicking and shadowing and start getting a feel for this language, okay? The fifth one is people rely too much on just go with the flow. No, there should be clear goals, right? So another trap is not setting clear goals. What you should do instead is you should write down those specific goals. So if it's communicate with my neighbor, write that down. If it's get a job interview next month, like that, you should write that down. The more specific, the better, right? So set clear goals, and this is really going to help you to stay focused and to stay motivated, okay? The last one, and for me actually, it's one of the most important ones, ignoring the compound effect. So the compound effect is when you study daily how this kind of snowballs, and this allows you to actually your brain remembers vocabulary so much better because you keep progressively learning every day rather than having like a big gap. If you have a big gap in the middle or between, in your learning, this is not good and it's not motivating for you. You will forget things much faster and you don't take advantage of the compound effect, So I'd really recommend not ignoring them. I hope you found this video useful, guys. So we have 6 traps that you shouldn't avoid. If you did find this useful, you can head to Valo. Valo is an English coaching platform that's going to help you to level up in your English and to finally start being able to speak in a relaxed way, to start communicating more comfortably, and to start seeing progress so that you can start to finally say you are fluent in this language and you're happy and satisfied with the level that you're at. Hope this was useful, guys. I'll see you on the next one.